We are facing an unprecedented amount of processed foods that are available to us now. Everywhere we look, there's processed junk. It's not easy to find whole foods if you want to have a quick snack. If you go into any convenience store, if you walk down the street and try to find something to eat, you're going to be faced with a lot of processed foods. These foods have hijacked our brains. Sugar and flour are shown to be as addictive as cocaine and heroin. This is insane. It's no wonder we have an obesity epidemic. So, for a lot of us, we have to cut out processed foods, at least initially, so we can see if this is the root cause of our condition. In traditional Tibetan medicine, which is my background, we understand that the sweet taste is very important. What is it important for? Developing our body. Why do children love sweets? Because it helps them grow. It's natural to want to eat sweets. But in nature, it's not so easy to get so much sweet taste. There are all different types of taste out there, and they have different qualities that do different things for our body. All tastes have some benefits, not just sweet taste. But we are faced with so much sweet taste. And when we talk about sweet taste, we should understand that all grains, even meat, is sweet taste in nature. So there's a lot of sweet taste out there, and these processed foods are super sweet, very highly processed, super refined, and they cause insulin spiking in our system. They rapidly metabolize. Studies show that this causes the leptin in our brain to be blocked from our brainstem. Leptin is the satiation hormone. It makes us feel full after we eat. If leptin's being blocked from our brainstem, we are going to keep eating. When I cut out processed foods, in particular sugars and flours, I got my appetite regulated. It was incredible. I never realized that my grazing was caused by these processed foods just kind of finding their way into my diet on a regular basis. When I cut them out and learned to eat whole foods that I prepared at home in a very easy way, my taste buds changed. I was able to taste things better. I started to appreciate the nuanced flavors of whole food. But you can't when everything is full of sugar or flour, because those foods have this very simple taste that just makes us want to eat more. In traditional Tibetan medicine, we identify the sweet taste as being a flavor that makes you want to keep eating it. That's exactly what it says in the text that was written down in the 8th century. Okay? So we've been knowing this as humans for a very long time. We use sugar in traditional Tibetan medicine. It has a cooling property. It helps to calm things down like fevers. But any medicine can become toxic. Sugar and flour have become toxic. So this is one of the first things that a lot of us need to cut out, and we need to go back to simple whole foods eating to get our relationship to food back. I'm not saying that you have to cut out anything forever, but at least initially, so that we can understand the effect that it's having on us. So that's step number 1 when it comes to eating in a way that's going to create sustainable weight loss. Another thing we really need to do is to regulate the times that we eat. There is so much interesting science when it comes to circadian rhythm. This is also an ancient science in traditional Tibetan medicine. We talk about the cycles of the elements throughout the day and how they relate to our digestive system. If we eat according to time, it helps to set our internal clock. It helps our metabolism to know when to expect food, and it helps our appetite to regulate. Our bodies start to anticipate eating time when we set a regular eating schedule. This is so good for us because it helps our body to know, oh, I'm ready to digest. I'm hungry now. It's time to eat. When we snack throughout the day, we're basically confusing our system. So this is a really important thing for us to establish. Also, we've got to give our digestive system that downtime at night. In traditional Eastern medicine, across the board, it's been recommended to stop eating at nighttime. This has so many positive benefits for our body. Now, intermittent fasting has become very popular, but even just simply not eating for 12 hours from 7 p.m. until breakfast time is already amazing for our body. This time at night is when our body is recovering and restoring and repairing. It helps our digestive system to clean out and for our cells to regenerate. So we want to have that nice circadian fast at night. This also leads to another very important point, which is that we've got to sleep well. We've got to get 7 to 8 hours of sleep every night. This is related to that same internal clock mechanism. Recent research has shown that if we don't get enough sleep and our sleep is dysregulated, if we sleep at strange times, our microbiome starts to mimic the microbiome of someone who has metabolic disorders, and our appetite gets completely thrown off. So we have got to at least get 7 hours of sleep. 8 hours is even better, and we want to have a schedule of sleep that's pretty regular. This is going to help us to get on track and keep our eating schedule also right. The next important point is that we should be eating the right portion of food at every mealtime. This is a really important one. I can't tell you how many people out there are talking about, I need to eat this food and that food and this superfood and this supplement. Start with just simply eating the right portions of healthy foods at each sitting. This is what matters most. When we eat the right amount of food, a lot of fiber, a lot of produce, substantial protein, and enough healthy fats, we are giving our body the environment to thrive. Not only our body, but our brain and our nervous system. We need those good, healthy fats. Fiber is going to help our digestive system to just stay really clean and regulated. It is so important to eat a rainbow of fibrous food for our microbiome. There's so much interesting science on this emerging. The microbiome is critical to our gut and brain health. The most important way to help our gut microbiome thrive is to eat a rainbow of fibrous foods. These are called prebiotics. There's a lot of attention on probiotics now, but actually prebiotics are the most substantial for making sure that we have a thriving, diverse microbiome in our gut. So this is very important. Protein is very important. Protein helps us to feel satiated, and it helps us to retain muscle when we're losing weight. It's actually easy to lose a lot of muscle when we're losing weight. And if we're going to start off without exercising, we definitely need to make sure that we're eating enough protein. And when we get to the stage where we feel solid with our eating and we do start to exercise, protein is a critical foundation for making sure that our muscles are recovering and building and that we continue to lose fat instead of muscle. Protein's very important. And as I already said, healthy fats are super important. In traditional Tibetan medicine, we say that fat is actually one of the most important foundations for our metabolism. If you can imagine, dropping oil on fire makes fire grow, right? Our metabolism is like the fire element. It is warm and hot. We want it to be burning so that it digests the food and extracts the essence. So when we have a good amount of healthy fats in our diet, just the right amount, not too much, not too little, we help our metabolism. Also, oils are very important for our nervous system. If we don't eat enough healthy fats, our nervous system becomes brittle. Our brain becomes weak. We've got to get those healthy fats in. So these are the 3 most important components of portioned meals. I'm not sitting here telling you that carbohydrates are bad. Complex carbs are very good. As I said earlier, if we're trying to lose weight, too much carbohydrates are going to develop our body. They're sweet in nature. Carbohydrates are very good if you're super active and exercise a lot. Absolutely. But if your goal is to lose weight, we just want to be careful with the volume of complex carbs. That said, eating a good amount of fruit and produce, you're going to get plenty of carbs, and a little bit of starchy carbs is totally fine. Again, we want to eat the right portion. So, what did we talk about? We said that we want to initially cut out processed foods. We want to eat according to the circadian rhythm. We want to have scheduled times to eat so that our metabolism can learn to expect when to eat. And we want to eat the correct portions of food. These are the foundations for eating in a way that we can lose weight and then scale into that maintenance mode. This is the secret sauce. We have got to be able to get to a point where we can maintain the weight that we lost.